the one with the C?
It's just how you transliterate it, man, because
Okay.
there's no letter in English or combinations of letter that make
Yeah. What letter is that in Hebrew?
cut.
I I was over there for 2.5 months, man. I couldn't.
Mm.
It was
Most
that was the part that was part of the language I could not.
Ah,
That was a part of the language I could not get that.
dude, I'll be fair. I thought my Hebrew was far worse than people who live there think my Hebrew is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a night I had to. The people there didn't speak any English; they only spoke Russian or Hebrew, and I had to get by solely on my Hebrew. And I managed it. They still talk about it like it's some big deal that I could speak Hebrew.
Wow. I mean, it's pretty cool, man. It's a tough language to learn, man.
It's
That
it's,
is a
it's the only language on earth that uses its symbols, its sounding, and its grammar. I mean, it's a single people dialect.
yeah. That's wild. How long has Hebrew been around though, man?
Modern Hebrew, not as long. I mean, shit, third century BC. I don't know,
Yeah.
something like that. It's got to be third century or fifth century
Is
BC.
it
So
about this? Is it about the same length as Greek? Because I know, like, I've been studying Greek a little bit.
no, it
Huh?
predates Greek
It
Hebrew.
predates Greek.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, yeah, because the Greeks come much later
Wow. Okay.
from when Jews are Jews.
Well, they have Hebrew on Duolingo now, so I might do that. Shout out to Kung Fu CJ with the $2 super chat. He said, "What's up, guys? What's up, Kung Fu? Thank you for joining us last week as well, man. You held it down too. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Momo, Pastor Damon. What's up, Pastor Damon? Who else we got? I saw your end is near 44. What's up? Cuts one. Shout out to everybody. Make sure you get the likes up, guys, and get a share the live stream. I got the best Christmas present this week. My house in the city sold, so just in time for the holidays. So I'm man, I was so happy about that. So I can participate in the capitalism, but also
Yeah.
I always I always suggest
Oh,
say
dude,
that
I participate in the capitalism, whether I celebrate the holiday or not. I have got a
yeah.
wife and her in-laws here for it. They celebrate it.
Yeah. But I always say Jesus is the reason for the season. So that's what I maintain. And we'll definitely be celebrating the birth of Christ.
What if
Yeah,
Jesus
in
was
our house.
born on October 31st? You know, he wasn't born on the 25th.
He was born in the
Uh,
story.
Did you know
Well-
that? He wasn't even born in December. Did you?
Well,
No.
I mean, there's some arguments that either way, right? Because I actually looked into that a while ago. Like, it's first, yeah, I don't know. So the calendars were laid out differently prior, in prior centuries and prior times. So, maybe I don't know how it translates, but I don't think it really matters which day. It's just you honor and recognize a day that it happened. At least that's what I believe. Like if we arguing over the day, like what's the point of that argument? It's like I don't know. To me, maybe
It doesn't matter.
yeah. It's like it could be January 1st, but we're just celebrating that this happened.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah,
Not
I
as
mean,
a
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
people just don't want to understand the meta history of the life. It
Yeah.
makes perfect sense that it's on December 25th because the people who decided it needed it to be that day. They did. The Romans needed it to be that day. They picked the winter solstice so that they could Hellenize as many pagans as possible with the single holiday. Like
Yeah.
if people look into why the things are done the way they are or the lore was written, like if you study what they were talking about at things like the Council of Nicaea instead of talking about the conspiracies that come about from the history of it, then you'll understand that these guys, I mean, for whatever it's worth, they sat around and they really thought out how do we institutionalize this. And as it grew and expanded, future generations of church leaders spent many hours invested in institutionalizing it, into structuring it. I mean, for whatever it's worth, I spend all day listening to CT talk about the importance of institutions to create structure and supremacy, like
Yeah.
the dominance of your ideals and morals and systems. I mean, the Catholic Church and the early Catholic fathers of the church worked very hard to ensure that they can turn a pagan empire into a holy empire.
Yeah. So I'll listen. I'll admit, man, I'll do some more research on it, and we could definitely talk about it further in here because it seems like there may be some interest in the topic. But again, it's it's one of those things like there's always the spirit behind what you do as an individual. And I think what people do get caught up in, I guess, the group ritual of a thing instead of really examining why, as an individual, you're celebrating. Like I'm a Christian, so I celebrate the birth of Christ. Not as just a capitalist holiday or anything like that, but this is the day I agree to celebrate it. But that's just me. It's just same with Easter, same with the other holidays, and I don't know. I think there's value in just remembering, like I said, the tradition. I don't know who created it, all this stuff. May not be. It does deserve some more research, but it's like, I don't know. To me, I still practice the why.
No, faith doesn't need any of that. You're correct.
Yeah. All right, guys. Guys, make sure you hit the likes to see everybody joining. Jesus was big on the spirit behind stuff. CT, did you get the gamma or the bugs? What are you talking about?
Did I get the what?
The gamma.
Amen.
Did I get the gamma or the bugs?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. What are they talking about?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Oh, superpowers. Gamma radiation or bitten by a bug, a radioactive bug. That's all I can think of.
I guess the gamma radiation shit. I don't know.
Guys, hit the like.
People, bud. What's up, Norm? I see Norm Nation in the chat.
Right on. Hey, guys, make sure you hit that like button, share, subscribe. Guys, I want to get you guys' reaction to something real quick. Ryan Clark was crying on the internet the other day, talking about he was musically profiled. Take a look.
I'm tired of being musically profiled in Ubers. It's a Sunday. Go to walk my son's dog. Get in the Uber. Just some regular, I think it was like pop or something was on. Man, as says hello, doesn't even ask me. He just changes the radio. First song, All Eyes on Me by Tupac. That's not even one of the songs I listened to from that album. Then he plays Many Men, right? 50 Cent. Right now, I'm starting to realize there's a theme. Then he hit me with the Stay Scheming. Bro, you got to go pull Stay Scheming way off the pack for Ross and Drake. And I had enough when it got to Not Like Us. Like, you totally profiled me and said, this is the music this guy's like. And now I'm watching his lips as he lip sync because it's not even the edited version. And listen, bro.
Can I just say, before you lead this anywhere?
No, go ahead, man. I want your instant reaction anyway.
Funniest shit is that ain't even the track I listened to on that album. And you calling that you're getting profiled? Dude, what? Dude, was that Dave? Is that who Dave is in real life, CT? Is that who Dave,
Yeah.
from Chicago, Dave from Chicago. Is that another Dave from Chicago in real life?
I would agree. That's him. Yeah.
Holy, I'm sorry.
Now, Gimpy, do you get you've been in an Uber before, right?
Yes, they play Mordecai Ben David right when I sit in. You just flip it up. Yerushalayim's not for sale at max volume, bumping those beats. Yeah, they whip out the dreidels. They start spinning the dreidels on the dashboard for me, man. They want that good 5-star rating. They racially profile my music.
Man, that man, people will shuck and jive for that 5-star rating, man. He thought he was
Doing him a
parented.
favor.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my God. Let me make my ride more comfortable for you and put on some ethnically relevant tunes. Sir. I mean, the whole concept.
Man, what do you think, CT, man? You see Ryan Clark crying, man.
Ryan Clark got into a car of a Negro. He got picked up by a Negro because only Negroes do this. I've only experienced this with Negroes, so I'm only giving you my anecdotal experience. Got into the car with his son. I would even argue it probably was a black woman, if anything. She probably was already playing rap and saw how old he was and said, oh, let me play some older rap. And he probably told somebody at the studio about it, and they said, "Oh, you could sell this. This could go viral." Not telling them the race of the driver. I've gotten into car with whites, and they will most likely ask you, what do you want to listen to, or do you mind if they continue to listen to soft country, jazz? If you get into the cars of whites during the holiday season, I got into a car with a few whites. They're playing Frank Sinatra, man.
Mm-hmm.
Other races of people do the same thing, man. They listen to neutral music, and what I mean neutral jazz, EDM, elevator music, but nobody changed the station other than the black with him, or kept or changed it to other rap eras, right?
Yep.
So no, I think that Ryan Clark is trying to remain relevant. He's already relevant in the sports world, but race is a big seller, man. And I bet if I were in front of that Negro and asked him, "Hey, Negro, what was the name of the person?" Because they give you the name of the people who pick you up. It's in your phone. It's logged. I bet. Was it a male or a female? What color were they? He'd want to fight me because I already know I could have got down to the bottom of his lie. Yeah.
No, imagine being so oppressed, right?
Yeah.
Because Ryan Clark's part of the victim culture, and he's in that ilk, at least adjacent to it. Imagine being so oppressed that you can grab your $1,000 mobile phone, open up an app, request an Uber, get into the Uber, actually get picked up, get in the Uber, and then start crying about the music that they're playing.
Yeah.
How oppressed do you have to be?
You're just a bigot. That you don't respect this man's lived experiences of oppression via Uber music makes you a bigot, sir.
Man, this is why this weakness of men, man. And then you going on the internet to cry about it. I think that's the more shameful part. I'm tired of being musically profiled.
Album. It's not just that you knew the song; you knew what album it was.
Right.
You knew the tracks from it that you liked. Yes, you were profiled, sir, and he profiled you dead on the center, hit the bullseye, dead center, and you're mad. He's hurt that the guy got it right. That's what I think the problem here is. He feels cheap, that he's so predictable or whatever. It hurts his ego more than anything else, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I didn't even had the audacity to say it's not even one of my favorite tracks on that album. Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
But the truth of the matter is that, again, I gotta be honest with you, man. How much of it is a racial profile, considering the fact that most blacks or Black Americans, 90% of the music genre they listen to is rap music.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's be honest about it.
Statement is racial profiling.
Blacks aren't listening to no goddamn classical music at high levels. Blacks aren't listening to EDM.
Country album, sir.
Yeah, let's be honest. Country music. Nah, let's be honest about it. Most blacks, young and old, are listening to rap music, man. So, the person, even if it was another person, can you blame somebody for putting on rap?
They tried, at least, right? They tried to make people, make them comfortable.
You can't make anyone happy. Moral of the story: can't make anyone happy. No. Ever. So
now I will say this though.
Yeah.
As a black man, he said it was a Sunday, and so I do think the racial profile actually got it wrong, because it was Sunday morning, so he's supposed to be listening to Sunday morning gospel. Some Hezekiah Walker, some.
I see. He's mad that he picked the wrong racial profile.
Right. Now the hip hop doesn't start till after 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Here's the grill spark up
on a Sunday. So depending on, I think he said it was a Sunday morning. So yeah, that's where he got the racial profile wrong. So I'll say that.
I mean, I agree with this. The average American isn't listening to classical music, but in CT's universe, he only knows people who listen to classical music.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. In my universe, in my head.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, but we hear so much how part of Black culture is the music. So I mean, you just can't blame someone for trying. And again, he's crying about it. Jay-Z, that was the Black album was I think Jay-Z's, outside of Reasonable Doubt, which everybody kind of says is his best one, but the Black album was probably one of my favorites. That and American Gangster, I'll say that.
I like 3 Jay-Z songs.
Yeah, man, you're from New York, man. How do you not like Jay-Z?
I do. I like 3 of his songs a lot. The rest of them are just mediocre, man. I never understood why he's considered so much better than some other people, especially in his generation.
Honestly, because he freestyled almost every rap.
Man, I think he was just smarter at making the hustle work for him and turning it into an empire.
No, but he freestyled like almost every time he rapped though.
I understand. I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm saying in that generation of rappers that he's like this blow up the way he is. It has to be his business acumen. Because again, half his songs sound alike. Have you ever really like listened to a bunch of his music on repeat for a little bit? Like when you're at the gym or something, you'll realize you'll start to think it's one song and it's another because he has similar beats among songs, similar riffs.
No, I mean, what are you supposed to do? You use the same producer, you got the same voice. I mean,
I'm sorry, man. Like you feel some of his songs feel like just copies of each other. For me, again.
Man, he is one person. I mean, that's his style.
No, I never felt that way about Biggie.
Man, Biggie sound the same on every song.
Biggie himself sounds the same. The songs don't sound the same.
All right, I will agree to disagree, man. But speaking of music, guys, I do got to give a shout out to my friend. You guys know I was a musician. I played at Morgan State, and I was in the bands over there. I used to play for the Morgan State choir. But a friend of mine is now a friend from FAMU is now the director of bands over there, and he's gotten Morgan State Band to be featured in the Rose Parade in Pasadena, California. Here's a story of them going.
The Rose Parade always ushers in a New Year's Day, and this year Southern California is getting a taste of Baltimore City. Morgan State University's Marching Machine will perform in Pasadena. The band is spending a lot of time getting ready to rock the roses. Morgan State has performed at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, but never the Rose Parade. Organizers selected the school back in 2024, and this year's parade theme is fitting the magic in teamwork, and it's taken a lot of teamwork to get here.
The only 2 colleges that are usually universities that are usually in this parade are the whatever football bowl, whatever teams are in that bowl game. So to be selected is like less than 1% chance.
But they are. That's awesome. So the Rose Bowl set for New Year's Day, of course, and you can stream the parade online at the Rose Bowl website. That is awesome. We are
big deal.
That's
We
a
sure
huge
are.
deal, right?
One time at band camp.
Man, I gotta give a shout out to my man, Dr. Reed, man. He really came in and changed the culture. Like and it was crazy. I met him randomly. Like we were at me and my son were out one day in downtown Baltimore, and we were at a food market. And our sons just started playing together, just started running around the food market, and that's how I met him. And then he, we built the relationship, and then that's my brother, and I'm just happy to see him thrive and do his thing out here at Morgan State. Man, but just some good news. I just want to show that I put on for the people every now and then. But that's my bro, man. They're gonna be in the Rose Parade this year, man. So
Congratulations.
Yeah. So make sure you guys go follow Morgan State Bands, Morgan State U, on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. But they're really, those kids are really doing some good stuff over there. I want to get you guys' response to this story also that's coming out of Maryland. Before, let's go to this, because imagine, guys, you are paying $10,000 a month in a mortgage, and your neighbors are paying $500 on a false lease. Guys, I'm gonna bring this story up here. Let me bring it up.
For months, Spotlight on Maryland has been investigating incidents of alleged squatting
across the state and the impact on local neighborhoods.
Tonight, Gary Collins' investigation takes him to a Washington, D.C. suburb where residents are demanding action.
Now, what they're talking about is Bethesda, Maryland. Bethesda is right outside of D.C. It's one of the most wealthy areas in the country.
It's where Bethesda Games is headquartered.
Never thought it would be next door to where we all grew up.
James O., a man who grew up in a multi-million-dollar neighborhood in Bethesda, is one neighbor of nearly an entire block who has contacted Spotlight on Maryland to investigate an alleged squatter takeover of a $2.3 million property on Burning Tree Road. For fear of safety, O asked to only be identified by the first letter of his last name. They contacted us after seeing our ongoing investigation into the squatting epidemic in the state.
All started around 4th of July weekend, and there were the house that we're talking about was up for sale, and we heard there was a new buyer that was interested. Sounded like they were going to close around that period of time, and some new people moved in.
O said the tight-knit community quickly suspected the new neighbors were not the actual new home buyers, but suspected squatters. They made contact with the occupants, who they identified as Tamika Good and Corey Pollard.
We were aware that
You think those names gave them away? Tamika.
the sale had not closed, and the new occupants were unlawfully occupying the building.
How did this all start? How did this all
Ooh, it's your boy
The
Gary.
bank foreclosed
Yeah.
on the previous owners because they were in default on their mortgage.
Dude,
No.
how are they showing the person's feet? What?
Guys,
This is amateur hour, man.
so the guy said, I don't want to be identified, but I think everybody knows in that neighborhood at least who's walking around with one sock. And-
I want to understand, how is this how you do it? Don't they have that filter that lets them just blur out the guy's face and like,
hey man,
I
they're
mean-
running gun, man. They should just spur
dude,
the moment.
2025. We're about to be in 2026. You can do it on your damn phone with an app. What
Yeah.
is going on here, man? Feet.
John,
12-year-old film this?
Yeah, man.
another Bethesda neighbor to the suspected squatter house, pointed us to court records on how the property initially became vacant. The man's real name is being withheld.
That camera
from his
was really
request
useful.
For fear of his safety.
Yeah.
According to Maryland property records, the property is currently owned by City Mortgage. Court records show a foreclosure for the property was granted in early 2025. Citigroup filed with Montgomery County District Court for Good and all the mansion's occupants to vacate, saying it has come to our attention that you have wrongfully and properly and illegally entered and are occupying the premise, adding your actions constitute a breaking and entering home invasion, and you and all occupants are wrongfully trespassing. Yet another property neighbor, court records show, filed several criminal charges against Good and Pollard, including trespassing. On December 8th, Pollard was arrested in the mansion's driveway. As
Wow.
a result of the arrest, Pollard is now facing extra.
Look at that. I can't hear you, Gippy.
Can't even get her hands behind her back. She gotta use her.
Extradition to Pennsylvania to face multiple luxury vehicle theft charges for allegedly stealing cars from a Lancaster dealership parking lot. Pollard has a lengthy court record, including a federal case involving transporting stolen vehicles from Pennsylvania and Delaware and possessing more than 100 grams of heroin.
Hey, y'all, what's up? It's your favorite pro se litigation coach.
So man, this suburb just became a drug-infested neighborhood.
Meanwhile, Good, claiming to be a financial
It always
pro se
was.
litigation
They just don't talk about it.
But guys, this is a serious issue because what's happening is there are these people out here that are advertising that they have rooms for rent or houses for rent, and they create these fake leases, and people people sign the lease. And when you have paperwork going to an address in Maryland, and this is kind of I'm bastardizing it a little bit, but when you have paperwork going to an address at in Maryland, you're considered a resident of that home. And then when it comes to getting people, like as far as an eviction, it takes forever to get an eviction. So people are exploiting a loophole, so to speak, and and they're going to these houses now. Granted, the stories first started in places like Baltimore, where people were doing this kind of fake leases and fake apartments, so they were kind of small scale, but they've upped their game. Now they're offering mansions on this.
Social media accounts also appeared in court records.
Dude, when they're paying $500 a month for a mansion, they know it's not legit.
I mean,
Dude, it's not legit. When the property value is $1,100 a month for a 1-bedroom in that area, and you're getting $500 for 10,000 square feet, you're stealing from someone. Dude, you got to stop. Like, it's not naivete that the renter isn't at. All of them are at fault. They know they're getting in bed with under the table guy. They think that it's some fly by night. They'll be okay. Blah blah blah. It's some guy who's managing the place. He's rented whatever. But dude, the old ways are the best ways. This would never happen 50 years ago. None of this could occur. No matter what the laws were, none of this could occur 50 years ago.
Man, CT, how should this be handled, man?
In the driveway, dragging them out of the house at behest of the landlord. What are you talking about? The old ways, then you never had squatting problems like this in this country before. Only when they didn't enforce. Dude, whenever you had Ivans or mobsters to call to protect the neighbor, dude, drag them out of the, that's what protection is. That's when it benefits you. That's what all these people kick up for back in the day. So that you can have a squatter's problem like this. You think a bank 80 years ago was filing for pay? No, dude. They sent strikebreaker guys. The same way this banks and all those things would do it to a union. They're not going to do it to properties they own. This is insane, man. We live in a backwards world where everybody thinks you got to give a pass. Because, they got scammed. No, they didn't. The minute they saw a mansion for $500, they knew they were stealing. If you saw rent for $500 for a whole mansion, wouldn't you have a lot of questions?
I mean, look, man, people out here trying to get their come up, but there's a group, CT, you've seen them, that feel like because of racism or legacy of slavery that, they can, like, this is justified behavior. This is their get back.
Again, that's why you had 5 Ivans.
What do you think about this, CT?
Immediate removal upon proof of ownership. We got to have nationwide anti-squatting statutes. You got to have a lot of civil and criminal penalties for unlawful occupancy. You gotta increase the eviction date from 30 to, I think it's 30 in every state, to
90 days in total. You get 90
you got
30 days to show up in court. You get 30 days for the eviction. You get 30 days to vacate.
You got to make it faster to vacate. You got to make it half.
There are states where from like November till like April, you can't evict people, even if.
And that's another thing too. This whole thing, you can't evict people. And I'm a little puss when it comes to if you have a kid or two, but you can't just be doing what a lot of these people are. That story out in DC with the woman who she wasn't squatting, but she was what was she doing, Gippy? It was a big story.
Yeah.
Damn, what was she doing? She was like going from home to home.
Yeah. The lady who was using the Airbnb style scam where stay over, say there were problems.
Yeah.
They'd make settlements with her to finally leave. She'd use that settlement money to start the scam up in the next place.
Yeah, you got to get them out of there, man.
Yeah, man. So the not president, but the governor of Maryland wants to be the president of the United States. So he's allowing this to happen in the state, and it has no issues with this continuing.
Dude, Westmore has no issues with anything as long as he thinks he can get votes out of it and further his career. He cares about nothing other than that. The state of Maryland today and its $8 billion deficit is.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy. But I think there was another story from the Spotlight on Maryland team. They were talking about a lady that was offering these rooms up for rent, and they found her in court, and she called Gary racist. she called the reporting of this whole thing racist. You know, and that's why I talk about the whole victimhood and
but
we're owed
everything, dude. You can find video again. Not that I'm saying it's representative of the whole, but there are examples of this where you'll find a person cut someone off in line, like cut someone in line somewhere.
Yep.
And it's because they're like, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, these words from all groups have no meaning, as it's clear by the fact no one cares when you call them any of it. Those words have lost all value. I'm sorry, like racist, anti-Semite, name it.
Yeah.
All of it. Misogynist, anything that has to do with like derogatory that you know to claim you're anti-intersectional. Everyone has fatigue from. No one cares. Call me it. In fact, they invite it. They think it's a badge of honor that it represents their principles for what they believe in.
Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah. All right, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Again, we go live on Saturdays at 6:30, and our podcast episodes drop on Wednesday. It's a condensed version of our conversations tonight. Also, stay tuned. 2026, we are launching the MCM platform, and we're going to feature content from, you know, just like an urban conservative perspective. But not only will you see the podcast that you've come to love and enjoy, Poppin' Politics, Christian Conservative, and us here at Just the Guys. But we'll also feature some local written stories, local businesses, as well as being a community hub for our MCM fans from across the country and even the globe. So stay tuned for the launch of the MCM platform. It's going to be on metroconservativemedia.com. So before we get into our main topic tonight, Gimpy, you brought this up, man. So I want to go here. So Candace Owens, I stopped.
Are you two ready? I'm ready. I got the AK back there, so I'm ready for you two.
All right. So Candace Owens actually doesn't want this particular conversation, to happen. And as a matter of fact, she stated that blacks and Jews should be waging war against each other.
Fully off of the mother effing plantation. Truly, Ben Shapiro, fuck you and the midget horse that you rode in on. And
so if you don't know, Ben Shapiro.
That hits so that I'm not even, and it's a funny way to start the clip.
Yeah. So just FYI, guys, AmFest is this past week. This might be going on or ending today.
It's ended.
But Ben Shapiro was on stage and he mentioned Candace Owens by name. So this is her responding to that. So here we go.
I say that on behalf of the world. I know you're going to get applauded by Konstantin Kisin and Andrew Christ is King Clavin and all of the people, the men who have to keep applauding what you do like you're a 4-year-old to make you feel good. But the rest of the world can't stand you. You're obnoxious. You have absolutely no values that exist outside of the Talmud. You describe yourself as a Talmudic Jew, and I've learned what's in that Talmud, and I encourage other people at home to learn what is in that Talmud so that you know what.
Been debunked even in its own time. It's so funny. No, the written word is a dangerous thing, man, because when that book came out, it was completely debunked, and the author was run out of town, basically. He was not treated well, even by his own, for it. And even now, all this time later, she picks up that book like there isn't a history behind how much that's a lie. Wow. Like that anyone can go read. It's available to everyone to see. It's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Ben thinks of you because he doesn't just hate me. He hates you too, white men. He hates all black people, okay? If he's following the rules of the Talmud, I mean, when I say hates, they think that we're animals, that they have a right to own us, that they have a right to make us worship them, that they have a right to lie to us.
Debunked.
Where am I owned by a Jew, Gimpy?
Yes, I own you. You just don't realize it, man. That's why I'm always around.
CT, are you owned by Jews?
According to my people on my channel that hate me, yeah.
They'll say I own him. They say it all the time. I have to explain it to them. I'm his production assistant. It's entertaining.
Man, black people will never be free.
That they have a right to sue us and take everything that we have. That they have a
Everyone
right
in America has a right to sue each other for everything that they have. I'm not sure that's a unique right to any one group. Last time I checked.
Us. That they have a right to treat Charlie the way that he treated Charlie while he was alive, only to then try to defraud
You know that
the
everybody's been
population.
posting all the X posts where Charlie Kirk praises Ben Shapiro.
Hold on, say that again.
Everybody posts as a response to this. When this clip got posted, a whole bunch of the comments are X posts and video clips of Charlie praising Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Thinking that he is somehow a part of his legacy, that he somehow cared about Charlie Kirk and cares to protect the people that are working at Turning Point USA. Goodbye, Ben. Goodbye. Question is, how much more money is Ben Shapiro going to spend to make people think that he's popular? How many more articles is his father going to write under a pen name, Hank Berrien of the Daily Wire, under the pen name Hank Berrien, as he wrote while Ben was at Breitbart, before he turned his back and betrayed them too, because that is his nature. One of these belly creatures,
It had
sliver
nothing to do
on.
with Bannon at all.
Question is,
Trying to
how
Bird's dream.
many more weeks and years do we have to keep pretending like Ben Shapiro is relevant? It's an open-ended question. Of course, what followed Ben Shapiro on stage is somebody who Charlie Kirk loved very much and who he fought for to the very end against the Jewish donors who were pressuring him, some of them because Ben Shapiro insisted that they do. That is Charlie Kirk's true legacy, and that is Charlie Kirk's true friend, just as I was and am and will continue to fight and ask questions about who killed Charlie Kirk. And to people that are at home, I implore you to wake up to these people who believe that they are contract lords. I challenge Black Americans to wake up to your true history, because your quarrel is not with white men, okay? Wake up to who publishes these books and keeps us warring with one another. Christians versus Christians, right? Christians versus Muslims. Wake up and learn the true history of slavery, because that wasn't exactly a white men sport, okay? Jewish people were the ones that were trading us. Jewish people were in control of the slave trade. They've buried a lot of it, but it's there, and you can find it. I think all of us need to wake up to this, because it's making me absolutely sick.
Man, I don't get her, man, anymore. When you see this, CT, man, what do you think?
Americans.
Huh?
She calls to the people who she hates the most.
Man, why are people still listening to Cam? To me, her and Megyn Kelly sound just alike. I don't know. They all the same to me. But what do you think, CT?
Well, we all know in a nutshell that between the 15th and the 19th century, slave or European Christian states, Portugal, Spain, Britain, what else? Who else? France, the Netherlands. They were all the actual slave. They were largely involved in the slave trade. These were whites. The merchants were largely white. If Jews played any part in it, it probably was at a very, very small and disproportionate level. Candace Owens she doesn't have a Jewish last name. She has I don't even know where Owens comes from, but that does not sound like a Jewish last name. 50 million American blacks, assumingly, let's assume that, I don't know, half of them descended from slaves. I challenge one person to show me that their ancestors came from a plantation owned by a Jew. I mean, their last names are a major indicator of the fact that this woman is insane. Their last names are an indicator that they probably were working for and or owned by whites, to be honest with you. So, listening to her talk, to me, honestly, I'm starting to believe that this is all theater.
Yes.
Like the WWE, this is fake. They need the numbers to go. Let's be completely honest with you. The whole conservative movement is dying. Globalism is obviously taking over. And I think that this is a selling point for Ben and Candace, who never know. You never know what they're doing behind the scenes. I think that this is a plot between them that they've created and elaborated. I just don't believe that this woman actually said what she said. I'm almost. It's actually shocking that she said this, to be completely honest with you, considering the fact that historically, Jews have never really done any atrocities against blacks. It's really been, to be honest with you, it was whites. It wasn't Jews who bombed the Birmingham church. It wasn't Jews who implemented segregation policies. It just wasn't, So I'm not saying Jews are perfect either, but she's insane, to be honest with you, man. Yeah.
Man, I would say, man, there should be some type of more of a Jew-Black alliance more than anything, because I mean, you talking about a people that was attempted to be eradicated and wiped off the face of the earth, and still comes back and then says they own everything. And then you got the black people saying, well, we created everything, but somehow we're still oppressed. Like, blacks are the creators of everything. Like, we invent. So hold on, we create everything from nothing, but somehow we're still oppressed. But Jews walking around with everything and still not keeping, that oppression mindset. I'm just like, we should see more of an alliance between blacks and Jews than anything. Guys, I missed a couple of super chats. Hold on. Kung Fu CJ said it was $2 super chat. Hold on, let me tell you the truth. You talking about Christmas. $5 super chat. Kung Fu CJ says the link I posted is proof Christ was born on Christmas Day. So I had to go back and check that out. What is this? Savage Recovery 111 says everyone has a right, Gimpy, but our cousins, brothers, father-in-law, and dad are not lawyers.
Funny, none of those people in my family are, well, cousins, I guess, because that's broad enough. But all the lawyers in my family are women.
Yeah. Oh, are they? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, mostly the men in my family are either in the medical field or rabbis.
Oh, wow.
Scientists, I guess, but they're medical field. But I have women in science too.
Right on, man. And Chris Creative with the $5 super chat. When I go to Colombia, Peru, I hear rap music and the N-word in songs from some clubs there. It's embarrassing. I listen to classical music, before I go to bed. Shout out, man. What kind of music do y'all listen to though, for real? Gimpy, what do you listen to, man?
Oh, I listen to an eclectic mix. Dude, I can listen to stuff from like the 1930s, 20s and stuff, and I can listen to some Biggie and Tupac, man. I mean, and everything in between.
What about you, CT?
A mixture of different things like Gregorian music.
Gregorian chant music you like?
Yeah, I think that's one of the most popular. I think Star Wars uses kind of. I know it's classic.
Yeah, all the Klingon stuff is Gregorian.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of Gregorian, EDM.
Yeah.
That singing type jazz music.
Like noir style, like 1950s.
Yeah,
40s.
yeah, like noir style. Stuff like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Just my 4 cents says the book Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Bews. Your thoughts, CT? You know that?
I've never read the book. I've heard of it. I should read it. I've never heard of it.
Okay.
I keep hearing about it. I've heard about it for the last 20 years. I never read.
I have to check that out. But yeah, man, I'm a mix, man. I like all kinds. So what's I mean, I don't listen to music as much now. Because whenever I'm driving, I usually turn my car. They say turn your car into a classroom, so I'm usually listening to like a podcast or something I'm learning. Whether it's something in the cybersecurity field or something.
Dude, if I
was learning stuff,
podcast while driving, I'd fall asleep and have an accident.
No, that's what gets my brain going, man. Just thinking about, like, I'm a problem solver, so I just think about what people are doing, how I can. I don't know, man. That's what I do.
Cybersecurity stuff, but to listen to the project planning and software development stuff and all that mechanical nonsense for work, right? Like how to build out the plan out software, the staging, and dude. If I put 5 minutes of that on and I'm not in the right mindset, I'm just like,
yeah. But I will say my get to work music, like if I'm have to ground something out on the computer, like if I have to like work on whether it's like a project or something that put together a proposal, I'm listening to I'm listening to either some lo-fi, like some real like cool jazz lo-fi type thing, or did you guys ever play the game LA Noire?
Yes.
I never was a
It's
video
a
game.
detective game in the Noah.
Yeah.
You would like it, even though you don't like gaming, CT. It's like
Oh
a
my God.
solve it, a whodunit game, right? You
Yeah.
got to solve the mystery, but it's all in film noir.
Bro, but the whole album for that game, and then bro, that is my go music, bro. That, like,
Really, dude,
yeah.
I go with, I for stuff like that and the gym, I go with anime music. For work, I go with like lo-fi anime music, and
Yeah.
for the gym, I go with high impact anime music, dude. Like Hyoku 10 is my favorite.
Yeah, my gym music is actually, I don't actually listen to music in the gym. I actually listen to sermons from Vadi Bakum.
So that's funny because I listen to my brother's lectures that he has on the internet. So
Honestly, man, because to me, it's like one of those things. Like, as to me, being a Christian means being a warrior, and that's what I'm like. That's what I'm preparing. Like, I'm like preparing my body, preparing my mind, get my spirit right, just to be ready for whatever whatever might come my way.
I'm just gonna have to work that much harder in the gym because I know how jacked the both of you are, and since you're now coming for me as a whole, I gotta dude, you guys make it's already hassle enough lifting every day.
Draco said I had CT more of a Swedish yodeling. What is it? Steven Still says I listen to CT in the gym. That's a cool, man.
Also, if CT has a really good show, because generally I lift at like early parts of his show, so if it's really good, his monologue, that's what I'm listening to. Dude, have you ever listened to like one of his top tier monologues? He'll go for like an hour and a half, and it feels like 10 minutes.
Right on, man.
My whole cool down, and I'll just be like, wow.
Thanks, man.
Somebody says Bob Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the main part of the discussion today. Guys, make sure you hit that like button, share, subscribe. Remember, we go live on Saturdays at 6:30. You're going to be part of the audience. We're recording for our weekly podcast episodes that get released on Wednesdays. So let's get into our main topic. Now, admittedly, guys, I like the show Power. You watch? Do you guys watch Power?
I seen an episode or two.
I was when I had a black barb. When I had a black barber, I used to say what?
No wonder why you look like a skinhead now.
Yeah, my barber is he's a melanated person, but he's not black. But I was forced to listen to rap. To watch Power every time I went in there, and I hated it. It's one of the reasons why I stopped going to him. I can't watch that shit, man.
Oh, shout out to Lawrence with the $5 super chat. Hail to the Emperor.
Thank you so much, Lawrence.
Hail to King Arthur, Arthur's royal Rabbi Gimpy, and hail to the king, to the gracious King of Logic. Shout out, man. Shout out. All right. Yeah, man.
This is funny, man. I know that's what has me shook, man. Dude. So you guys don't know, but Logic joined this crazy boot camp for the last year, basically. And I went to his house for the housewarming party. The man bought himself a very comfortable place to live for him and his family, well outside the Baltimore city limits. He finally took Tyronistan level advice. But I went for the housewarming, and this man is jacked. Jacked. I stood next to him. He's smaller than me, and I'm still in his shadow now. So I am seriously screwed, dude.
Yeah, man, it happens, bro. I mean, it's natural genetics. I mean, that's black culture for you, man. We just naturally gifted athletes, bro.
Period.
but dang, you made me forget what I was gonna say, man. But Power, man. Power. It's produced by 50 Cent. It was a show that came out of his creative mindset. It's been on for several years, and it's created this kind of power universe in which there are several other spin-offs. Power Book 4 Force is I call it Tommy. I think most people in the Power universe call it Tommy, which Tommy is the main character. takes place in Chicago, and you know, talk about street gangs. But they were recently on the Breakfast Club, and they were talking about how are there any kind of like righteous aspects of the show? And you know, I do want to question: do shows like Power like condemn or condone like behavior that is destroying our communities? And we'll go through the discussion. I do want to open it up to maybe a couple of people that may call in. So Gimpy, could you post a link in the chat too? But yeah, I want to go ahead and go through this.
You're that character in this show, but people don't see that. They only say, why would you guys be in a show that showcases?
Hold on, let me restart.
Do you think the world will ever look at the gang organization for anything righteous they've ever done? I know with BMF, 50 also tried to talk about the family unit and stuff like that, and it's very prevalent that you're that character in this show, but people don't see that. They only say, why would you guys be in a show that showcases all these things? I'm sure.
So first off, what do you guys think of this question?
What question?
The question of, is there anything righteous, like talking about the family unit in a show that promotes like gang violence, drugs, promiscuity, all those things?
I'll wait till it's all done. I got a lot to say about this. I'll just wait. I'll wait to talk. Yeah,
Okay.
I got actually a lot to say about this, huh?
Go ahead.
All right. Well, let me get the big screen real quick. Well, let me get this. All right.
We can finish playing it. We can finish playing
let's finish playing it because I have a lot to say about this.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Yeah.
Get that question all the time. Do you think the world will ever say, but wait, there was a righteous component to this? There was a family aspect.
Yes, and I think even outside the show, we make sure we do a lot of stuff in the community. I make sure we have speaking engagements and talking to make sure we know this is entertainment. It's telling a story, a story of some made-up characters that, how they move in the streets and how their life and how their family dynamics happen. And I think that also by showing that in Chicago with all the things that's going on with the city of Chicago, we're able to show the entertainment part of it, but we're also able to touch on some of the things of the diversity of the city and how the city is made up and the history and the architecture and just kind of giving some more light on the city in that way as well too. But I think it's very important for people to know, even as we talk, is to make sure that we know that this is a story. It's a TV series.
It's
and
not
we were
real
playing
life.
characters. It's not real life. It's the power universe.
Someone
We
had to
know that's
convince
not
himself, though.
real life. There's so many things that happen. That Mustang pulls up anywhere. No parking tickets.
We'll say though that these stories might not be based on somebody's real life, but they are lives that's happening out there.
Oh,
There's-
for sure.
There's a
Yes.
Tommy and somebody.
Oh, yeah. People walk up to me every time like, bro.
All the time.
All right, CT.
I'll just wait till Gimpy go because I have really a lot to say about this.
I have very little to say about it. I think it's ridiculous. The question is a justification question. It's not an authentic question. I mean, like, dude, it's just them trying to not even pity, carry water for each other. It's like, oh, there's this little bit of decency in this otherwise relatively degenerate thing, and you're going to justify it by saying, well, that's our culture and we're showing a better way within that culture to live or whatever. But again, it's all cope. So like that's why I don't watch this TV like this anymore. It's just garbage for the brain.
No, like I said, this is so my wife and I do like date nights and stuff like that, and I'm at a point where like I can recognize it as entertainment, but but I also limit the amount of this stuff I consume, because one, I really don't like seeing black people being portrayed in a certain way. Now this just the way I view it. It's just like I don't like seeing this stuff. But from a story aspect, I do see that, man, this is an interesting story, and yeah, I started it, so now I'm like, man, I just want to finish it. So this is me. Maybe I'm being hypocritical at this point in time, and I can be self-aware of that. But it's just something I think. I don't know. CT, I'm gonna give you the full screen on this, or the bigger screen on this. All right.
Do you remember the dinner scene in not the dinner scene, but the coffee scene in the movie Heat between Bobby D and Pacino?
I don't remember that.
Yes, I do.
Do you remember when did you ever watch The Godfather, Logic?
I've seen clips. I haven't watched the whole thing, bro.
Dude, he's never seen. Dude, you're talking to the least socially cultured man on earth.
I am.
Okay. Well, there are gangster flicks and mafioso flicks that, in my opinion, they go outside the bounds of being a contemporary on common culture, right? Some of these, like The Wire, right? The Wire isn't a contemporary piece for me. The Wire isn't saying, "Oh, The Wire is a representation of what's going on in Baltimore now." If you watch The Wire, Logic, which I'm assuming you did, The Wire had so much depth. It had so much character development. It had so many different like the symbols, right? Like, for example, a lot of people never caught this scene, man. But the scene when Stringer Bell was running through the factory before Omar killed him, he was running like a chess piece. If you really picked up on it,
Really?
if you really pick up on how deep like The Wire is, right, you can see the absolute generational art within it, right? It was more than just the Greeks. It was more than just shipping drugs over. It showed you the complexity of institutions and how systems run and operate, like the newspaper in The Wire, right? You remember the newspaper, right? When they introduced that, which wasn't the biggest, which wasn't really the strongest story arc, but it did work in the favor when they were trying to create the serial killer. But you have like Heat, right? Heat infused film noir, right? Noir and the score. It wasn't just a contemporary on the 90s, right? It was something that people can say you can watch Heat 500 years from now into the future, because you're gonna appreciate the angles and how scenes are shot. You're gonna appreciate just the symbol of good and evil, or who was really good or evil, right? Between Pacino and Bobby D. Or you could look at it like the story with the guy chasing the whale, right? Moby Dick. You could also look at it like, was Pacino's character, like, was he a never-ending Moby Dick? Like, if you really listen to what he's saying in the movie, like, I got to get up and do this every day. It's almost like he's never gonna catch this whale. He's just always out. He's always out there. Crime is always gonna happen. A lot of these gangster movies are really, really deep. The problem I had with Power, it's every episode seems the same. Somebody tearing some pussy up, drug dealing and killing. It didn't feed me anything. The culture's already bad, Logic. Let's be honest. The culture's already bad. But the problem with Heat is, it, to me, I think of myself as an intellect. I didn't get anything from the movie Heat. I couldn't learn it. I can't learn it. I mean, I didn't get anything from Power. But when I'm watching Heat, man, I could get something from almost every character except for that piece of shit Wayne Grow. He was just an utter piece of shit. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when he got killed, Gimpy, that was kind of like, or almost orgasmic, man.
But you learn how not to be. He
was such a piece of shit, man. He had no redeeming qualities, Wayne Grow. Man, but you could learn so much from that movie, man. Like, even things like what's that saying he had, Gimpy? Don't feel too attached to something that you can't leave in 15 minutes or something.
Oh yeah, don't get attached to anything that you can't walk away from in 15 minutes.
Right. And then at the end of the movie, when he's dead now, forgot his damn name. He just died, Gimpy. What's the guy's name? He had like a smoking thing. He just died. I forgot. Jesus Christ, I can't think of his damn name.
Dude, I'm terrible with
but anyway, in the movie when he left Bobby D, it was like, wow, he never would have imagined his own partner would leave him off the same advice he would. So you get things like this, right? Logic. Val Kilmer, right? But then you get Homeboys in Outer Space, right? Logic. You ever heard of Homeboys in Outer Space?
Yeah.
So imagine you watching Star Trek or you watching Star Wars. you get the entire package. You get the music, which is absolutely beautiful. You get music infused in scenes that goes back 1,000 years. You get camera angles, and each scene is almost like it's almost like when you go into this. I've never been to the Sistine Chapel, right? But it's almost like
it's art.
Every scene is like a painting almost.
Yep.
Man, I when I watched Power, I was trying to see that. I couldn't get it. It just seemed like it was a high level Tubi movie. Every episode is like a high level Tubi movie. It's just people who aren't really good writers, people who aren't really good at directing, people who aren't really good at. Mind you, I was in a movie as an extra, man. So I look at movies and TV a little bit different from the common person, bro. Like honestly, bro, I don't really believe people do things because of entertainment, right? I just think if you're just a ghetto culture, if you're just ghetto, you were always going to be ghetto any damn way. I mean, I've watched all types of things, and these things don't influence me, right, to do negative stuff. But what I didn't like about Power is it's a simple little formula. It's like a Sesame Street. It's a simple little formula. A plus B equals C. So sex plus a drug scene, plus a killing scene, and that's the episode. Whereas you don't get that in like think about a movie, Gimpy, like think about think about an eating scene, right, in a movie. Like what's a good eating scene in a gangster flick?
When they all are imagining the food.
Oh, like in Hook. Oh, I damn near cry. Every time I see that scene, I watch it once a year. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. It's even like eating scenes, right, should be made to be artwork. I didn't get that in Power, man. I didn't get anything artistic in Power, man.
Can I?
Does it set a bad? Because we always say, does Goodfellas set a bad example? Sure.
No.
But Goodfellas, but Goodfellas, you could argue is the equivalent of a Heat. It's the same package of just
because at the end, Hank Hill is standing in his front yard screaming at the sky that his life is miserable, man. So no, Goodfellas, the lesson of the story is that if you pick a life of crime and whatever, you're going to end up somewhere you don't want to be.
But when you watch, but Goodfellas is timeless.
Yeah,
Power is not timeless, in my opinion.
Can I just say, you keep saying something. Doesn't that say more about the consumption than the creation? The creators are only giving what sells.
Yeah.
If you could sell Heat today, they'd make Heat. But you can't sell Heat today. You got to sell a superhero movie or a movie with a plot that revolves around cheesy horror, or you got to remake something. They don't do that anymore. They don't.
Can you highlight Norman's comment 737?
Yeah,
I think it goes back to what you're saying. People that's too jacked up.
Yeah.
It's people don't want Heat anymore. I mean, I bet you the guys in the back would tell us along the way.
What up, Rush?
What's up, Rush? You're muted, bud.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Man, yo, CT, man, I'm gonna give you some pushback on the Power joint, man. You gotta watch the Power Book 2 with old boy with the son. Tariq. You can learn a lot of stuff on there on how to deal with different companies and earn different stakes within companies, and it was dope, man. Like I think you kind of downgrading the whole Power joint. I remember that TV show Heat too, man. It was alright. It's nothing like Power though.
Movie Heat.
Man, I mean, I think there is a lot to be learned in Power, but it's showing the worst of Black culture. I mean, they're true to Black culture what's defined as Black culture. I mean, it's corrupt.
But didn't The Wire show the worst of Black culture?
I mean, it did too.
Didn't The Sopranos show the worst of
Italian culture?
I mean, but I'm just, I don't know. But the other element of it too is like, it's often stated that the Jews are pushing forth degenerate content for Blacks to consume, and the Blacks consume it up. But this is 50 Cent pushing this, right? I mean, is there? I mean, what's the Jewish leadership?
Roll the credits, and I'll tell you in the credits where that pops up. It'll be an EP. He doesn't fund them out of his pocket. Someone funds all this. It might be a studio or whatever, but the way everybody knows how this stuff is made. You outsource the funding That's what a producer, like the executive producers are. They're the money guys. They're the guys who bring the money in for the production and line up all the work under it. So again, I'll arguably say that you can't get away from it. It's entertainment. You would have to roll the credits, and if in that credits you don't see anything, then you could say that comfortably. But I'm sure somewhere in the credits there's Jew money.
So it says Stars is pushing Power over Curtis. Curtis is the face, but not the bankroll.
Yeah, dude. And Stars is a cable network, and I promise you, all over with because again, my people are on both sides of every conversation, regardless whether it's controversial or not.
Right. So shout out to
I think logic, in my opinion, logic is this, right? To me, Power is McDonald's. It tastes good at first, but you can't eat the shit every day. You're gonna end up fat. You could argue that all these things we just named is bad for different cultures, but The Wire, nobody ever said, "Oh, I did." The Wire is really bad on Black culture. I think it's because it forced even the common viewer to see the beauty and the artistic expression in this in the show, right? It forced you to see it forced you to see different types of psychologies of a human being. Like Marlo is drastically different from Avon. And different scenes let you know, like the security guard scene. Then you ask, damn, I wonder how Avon would have handled that security guard. And why did Marlo kill him? Why did Marlo kill this nothing, nobody asked, this security, this random guy that's not even in the game? I think The Wire, to me, I never heard anybody say, "Man, The Wire bad for Black people." I think damn good.
They said it was bad for Baltimore.
Yeah, they said it was too.
I don't live in Baltimore.
No. The biggest, like I just looked, right? I did a search for us. So the biggest complaints on The Wire, right, is nothing about the Black community. It's either that it took too long, like slow burn and too complex up front, low ratings, bad marketing the first season. Bleakness and realism is what, is what Logic is talking about. They said that it portrays the things that went around in Baltimore. It's too bleak and dark, and it wasn't as awful, right? Like it created this very awful image for Baltimore that it wasn't accurate. Like even when it was happening, it wasn't as bad as they portrayed. That's the criticism.
With The Wire, so for non-Baltimoreans, what The Wire did to me was this, right? You could use this in the classroom if you want to teach irony. And the idea that Omar lived by a code of he doesn't bother civilians, he doesn't for damn sure touch kids.
Yep.
And the irony that he gets killed by an 8-year-old. Man, I'm telling you, like shit like that really it's outside the scope of race. It's just wow, this type of stuff actually happens in the real world.
Yeah.
Like these situations, thousands of years of mankind, like these situations, man.
Yes.
Power to me is just like I said before, a scene of some pretty chick getting her pussy toe up, some drug dealing and killing. It's like, goddamn, it's too lowbrow for me. And I think what lowbrow does is when it's something that's lowbrow, it's too easy to say, okay, this is just bad for Blacks. Because if it was really, really, really good, nobody would say that. Not to say that it's not good. It's just to me McDonald's. It's always going to sell, but it's just not really good food.
Yeah. Hey, Kung Fu CJ, welcome to the stream, man. Do shows like Power condemn or condone destroying communities? And what's your thoughts on that, man? You're muted.
I believe it's kind of both. I don't know if you guys are old enough. There's another gangster movie made. It's called Once Upon a Time in America.
Good one. That's a really
good
one.
That's a great one. That's my people's gangster movie.
Okay.
It's like 4 hours
That's
long.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. As you can see by me bringing up that movie, it talks about the Hebrews being gangsters. In New York.
On the Lower East Side of Manhattan.
Yeah.
Where my dad grew up.
It's not a lot of these movies portray every pretty much ethnic group in a bad light, when it comes down to the community. You could what movie was that I watched? American Gangster.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of movies. What they're trying to do is educate, but then they have to have the entertainment part with it. They have to. So yes, you're gonna have some drug dealing and killing and sex scenes, police scenes. You're gonna because they need the entertainment. I'm a Dirty Harry guy. I watch a lot of his. I watch a lot of the Dirty Harry movies, and it's not each one is not the same.
Mm.
When they go to part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, they're not the same. However, Dirty Harry is the same. He's the same enforcer cop who will not bow down to like your Brandon Johnsons, your Brandon Scotts,
Yeah.
In the city. I'm here to enforce crime. I'm not here to pussyfoot with the hoods. And like I said, you got to have entertainment. Him walking around the streets with this big old hand cannon, and he's stopping robberies and all kinds of stuff. Stopping hijackings. That's me. That's what That's me. I like his movies, and then you got to think about this. Your cowboy movies.
Yeah.
What kind of light does it put them in? The Caucasians in.
Yeah, but the cowboy movies are not inaccurate at all. Like overall, the art overall Hollywood. The saying goes, even the Wild West wasn't the Wild West, man. Right? Like we talk about things as if it was like this ongoing. There were periods of craziness, especially when they were territories, whatever. But like for example, when you look at a guy like Wild Bill Hickok, who is aggrandized in American history, right? Anybody who plays poker knows what a dead man's hand is, and that's because of this guy. He was not the killer that history makes him out to be. It's 3 or 4 times in the course of his whole life he has showdowns that map the rest of his life. He was basically a drunk and a gambler who abandoned his family to go to the North Dakota mining territories to make a living when he could no longer make a living because he shot a dude. So I'm just saying the Wild West wasn't the Wild West. So when we look at Wild West movies, we have to remember they took a massive liberty to create this environment where we think that the Wild West was just gunfights endlessly. In fact, the Wild West is the first implementation of gun control in America. It's the first time they start banning weapons in cities. There's no open carry. It all comes from the fact that when they let that happen, people would randomly walk up to each other and shoot each other. I mean, it became that. So
yeah, I think there's something to how these how do these series conclude though? Because I think it's one thing to tell a story, but then like what is the resolution of these stories?
Like the ones that end where the main character pays the price, even though Sopranos ending sucked, was to make you think that he got whacked. Tony Soprano, or in Goodfellas, he's standing in witness protection and basically he's telling everybody that he loved the life he had and now he's miserable that he had to leave it. I mean, as long as it ends with the crime doesn't pay punchline, then the story is salvaged regardless of what it showed up until that point.
What you got, CT?
Gimpy, you guys seen Paid in Full, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Now, to me, Paid in Full to me is a great movie, high level Tubi, mass. To me, it's like a McDonald's film. Now, that's a movie, and Godfather is a movie. Logic, do you remember the scene when Cameron, he's playing... don't
ask me.
He's okay, Gimpy. Cameron is playing Alpo. Remember the scene when they showed a video of him? He tears the pussy up in the club of a video.
Right.
Like, okay. Now, how many sex scenes were in The Godfather? Or how many sex scenes were vulgar on that level?
None.
Now, Sonny was banging the one woman who ended up giving birth to his illegitimate son. But there's a level of vulgarity that there's a level of sex. Like, let's use sex, right? in a movie, if you just ask me, sex is supposed to be like a background thing to it, right? In my opinion, unless it's this movie based on romance, it's supposed to be like a background thing, like a tree or a car.
Mm-hmm.
It's not supposed to be something that's just etched in your brain, because that's not really what it's supposed to be. The way I look at it. Now, if somebody were to ask me, "Hey, do you remember the scene when Sonny was banging the one girl in the bedroom at Michael's wedding?" Or no, it wasn't Michael's wedding. It was
the other
sister's
one.
wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. But everything in that scene, like Luca Brasi, Mike bringing Kay to the wedding and telling Kay about the family business, that supersedes everything Sonny was doing, which was cheating on his wife, right? Because he was cheating on his wife at the wedding. What I saw in Paid in Full was, why did they show this stupid ass scene that makes no goddamn sense?
Yeah.
Maybe it's to show you I get why they would show it. It shows you the carelessness and recklessness of Alpo, but it just didn't flow, in my opinion. It was no depth in. No, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of good scenes in Paid in Full, but it's a way you make a movie, and I really feel like you said, where I grew up at, we never heard people say, "Man, The Wire is bad for Black culture," because The Wire was so goddamn good, and it was mostly blacks.
Yep.
We didn't. We totally the depthness and the storytelling was so good, you forgot that you were even watching black people, to be honest with you. Yeah. But every time I'm watching Power, I'm reminded with rap music in the background, people in the car, boom, boom. I'm like, God damn, man. So to me, that's why people say it's disrespecting black culture. But then you have black gangster films that really, even though it's gangster, really, like you got Harlem Nights, Belly was really good. Belly had a lot of Belly is art. Paid in Full. What's another one? The one with Lawrence Fishburne. Is back in the day. I can't remember that.
Where he's Bumpy Johnson.
When he plays Bumpy Johnson. What I'm saying is that black people have made these films, these gangster films, these films of crime and drugs, but there's a way you do it. There's a way you present it to a population of people. And Power, to me, doesn't execute that well. It just Hoodlum. That's the name of the movie. Hoodlum. It just doesn't execute. It doesn't execute it well, and that's what makes it bad for the black community. You can make these movies. Logic. I know you don't watch porn, bro.
No.
Back in the 80s and the 90s, now it's porn. It's still porn. It was set. It was scenery. It was angles. It was cameras. It was storytelling, Oh, did you order a pizza? But now it's just straight, just fucking. To me, even when something is bad, you still have to serve it right to people.
Hold on. Go ahead, Rush. Rush, I think you had something, right? Rush.
Yeah. The reason why they showed that scene of Alpo is because it's based on a true story, and Alpo was known doing vulgar things like that in the public, so that's why they made the clip like that within the film. But I understand why you saying The Wire is more of a classic. It's because it showed different varieties of people's lifestyle, such as you get the version of the police officer, the judges, even the kids that's working the corners, even the kingpins. Like, you get everybody's version of the story within that show. That's why the show is such a classic. You know what I mean?
So let me ask Rush, do you think shows like Power are condemning or condoning like things that are destroying communities? What are your thoughts on that?
I would say it's the parent's responsibility in order to guide your child in the right direction. But I would say, yes, there is a level of negative influence from TV shows like The Power, because it's such, a negative. The premise of the show is negative in general. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it would be it'll cause a negative ripple effect within our demographic. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's another element that's maybe it's like the amount of content that's out there too, right? When you think about the library of content that you have available, we don't have the library of content that's wholesome anymore, right? The movies you guys are talking about was or during an era when you also had things like the Cosby Show or even like the Bernie Mac show, Good Times, when there was a primary family element that was also being promoted at the same time. And it seems like now, from what I see, is the negative culture is what is consumed the most, right? There used to be more of a balanced dare I say balanced consumption, but now it seems like it's more or less, this is all we see. Could you guys agree with that? Disagree? What are your thoughts?
I totally disagree with that because, now hear me out. Right on TikTok, you have little babies that get millions of views. Think about this. You have videos of cats. Oh, here goes my cat. Come here, Fluffy. Little cats. You have right on TikTok, you scroll through people singing and dancing in their home, man, singing nice songs. It's what so you could argue that you have more positive imagery and you have more positive entertainment more than ever now. It's just, are you just choosing to? I mean,
is that positive or is this candy? Like, because like the shows like Cosby Show had depth, right? I'm just asking.
There's this white woman on YouTube. She gets like 1 million views a damn upload. I went to my friend's kid's birthday party.
Miss Rachel
Miss Rachel. All the kids went crazy when Miss Rachel came on the screen and stuff. I'm like, who the hell is this white chick, bro? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it might be more positivity now. It's just what your frequency is. I think society is giving you your own burden of frequency. Which frequency you want to give your input?
Who else want to respond to that?
Because, or real quick, Logic, because think about the 80s, right? Now, you did say the Good Times, right?
Yeah, Good Time.
Yeah, Good Times. But you also had, hear me out, but you also had, what's that show, that little black boy, and they were getting molested in the bike shop? And it was also showing you wild stuff that was big on a national scale back then, like all those kidnappings with them kids. You had a lot of shows that had a lot of like the more you know lessons, bro. So you could argue differently. I mean, I don't know.
So I guess
Highway to Heaven with
Highway to Heaven. I remember that show too.
Dude,
yeah.
Every week it was another horrific thing that was going on that they were bringing light to through some fictional representation of it on that, whether it was how like disabled people were abused by their families. There were a whole bunch of episodes about that. Like, dude, a lot of
Good Times. And don't forget Good Times. Can be Good Times was a black poor ass family in the ghetto in the poverty in the projects.
Yes.
But isn't there something to say like to how these shows conclude though, or like the conclusion, the resolution of the story, right? Because again, like nowadays, like the resolution is just like we're just gonna go out and kill somebody else. Back then,
you could also argue that in Good Times, the father was killed. JJ was beat up by multiple gangs. The little brother was almost forced to be in the gang. He had to fight. His mother had to come and fight these gang members off. JJ ruined. I think the Thelma's husband or somebody tripped and fell and busted his ankle. They ended up going to the NFL. It was a lot of negativity in these movies, in these TV shows back in the day too, man. Yeah, the Cosby Show was very positive, man, but were a lot of other entertainment positive or I don't know.
They reinvented positive presentation over the 80s and 90s. I mean, it got totally foobarred because of this, because it was a slippery slope. But things like Married with Children, right? Like my parents hated that show. But if you really watched that show and paid attention, it actually was a very wholesome show.
Yeah.
He always wanted to cheat on his wife. He never could.
He never did.
Follow through. He never could. he always talked about being like the failings of society, right? Like he always presented all the things that we took for granted as these things. And then at the same token, he was all about masculinity of the man being the king of his castle. But in a way that if you pay attention to it, it's actually, we all agree with that stuff.
And believe it or not, he was a great leader. He founded No Ma'am.
No Ma'am.
Yeah, he founded No Ma'am. It had an actual, yeah.
Hey, who is this? Can somebody read this? Man,
This is one of my guys. Thank you so much, Dark NYC, NYS. I sincerely hate power. Make Black Wall Street. Tito with the $5 super chat.
See Black Wall Street. There's no chicks getting smacked. Who would pay to see Black Wall Street? There's no sex. There's no drugs. There's no violence. There's no action unless they keep showing the Black Wall Street on a loop. Right? I'm just saying, like, dude, that's what my point earlier is. We decided to start reframe. Go ahead, Rush, man.
No, I mean, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this TV show called Dallas, but if they were to make a version of that in Black Wall Street, I think it would be pretty good, man.
Oh, that actually might be really good, Rush. I didn't think about it like that. Like you do it a Dallas style soap opera, that would actually get views. But I'm saying in the scope of no one wants something deep. We want to turn on whatever screen we're turning on and let our brains melt into whatever you're feeding at 1080 or 8K resolution.
Man, I don't know, man. I do think there's a craving for deep content. I mean, if you go on YouTube universe, I mean, when you look at and YouTube again is hold on. YouTube is again male dominated platform, but when you go on and look at stuff like stoicism or philosophy or kind of some of the deep thought topics, like these things have millions and millions of views. You follow Ryan Holiday or someone like that, dude has millions of followers, and this is all about stoicism. How should I be, things like that. So I think there is an element of society that is craving deeper content.
Giovanni, I'm a child of the 90s, man. I grew up in the 90s, man. And I used to watch a lot of movies from the 80s. We romanticize the past, bro, because let's use science fiction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Villanueva's Dune now, man, ain't no goddamn science fiction ever touching that, man, from the past, bro. And I know there's a romantic thing with 2000, I forgot the name of that movie, Space Odyssey, 1990. Bro, Dune is so deep now.
See 2010.
Yeah, bro, like in my opinion, man, I think we're probably deeper now.
You think so?
And I'm just going to use science on it, right? Science fiction, bro. Bro, some of this Star Wars stuff that's coming out now. I mean, like, not Rogue One, but Andor. Yeah. Man, it makes a lot of that shit in the 80s and the 70s and 80s look like a cartoon, man.
Yeah,
but how much of that stuff gets consumed?
It's the least fan favorite of all.
Andor. But what about Dune?
But again, Dune
had $1 billion, bro.
Yeah, but Dune is a remake of something that was already a mega hit movie, and on top of it is a classic science fiction novel. That goes to that they just remake things. Dude, I'm not saying they didn't do an amazing job. I'm just saying we do not want new, in-depth. You would see it. They would create it because it would sell, right? Entertainment is one of the fewest things that still taps into pure capitalism. Because if people aren't entertained by it, they're going to turn it off. They have 10 million options thanks to the internet. Literally, you can go on YouTube and type in anything you want to see, and a channel will pop up with it. So people are just giving things that lock people's brains to the screen and melts their consciousness into the visuals that they're being fed. It's purely that's how they make entertainment now. It's clear. It's not about, because the things that are supposed to be these deep, meaningful, they're all drivel. Everything that's promoted as like this depth story, it's garbage. And they have to recreate things they already know work. And it's a hit or miss even then for them. I'm sorry. Like, the state of how we entertain ourselves is a mess. The only redeeming quality is that we get straight to market products through platforms like YouTube. So you can go and find something else. If you were just stuck to cable TV now, everyone would be outdoors. No one would be watching. It's that they melt their brains anywhere they flip. So they feed them drivel so that they stay locked in. Dude, you know, you're a creator. You know the most important things are click-through rate and time on screen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So shout out to Tito Santana, CT, due to broken homes, that is not changing. The music and TV shows are harming the community. CT, you want to respond to that?
Let me read this again. CT, due to broken homes, that is not changing the music and the TV show. I'm assuming this person is saying that
he's talking about what you said this from earlier. When you were talking about how the culture in power is represented. That's when this popped up.
he said, but they are harming the community. That's what he's saying.
So, yeah.
Okay. He's no punctuation, so it's hard for me. I mean, that's his opinion. I totally disagree with that. I totally believe the culture was already messed up, to be honest with you. You didn't need TV shows at all. It was already messed up, to be honest with you. You already had that element in society. John, with the $10 super chat, society was built and influenced by stories. When someone's story is projected on screen or in words, it becomes real. The masses try to relate it as their own experience. So I guess people weren't gangbanging in the 1800s. Okay, John, I rock with you, man. But come on, John.
They were outlaws in the 1800s.
Come on, man. Black people were shooting dice in there, and before all these gangster films came out, shooting and killing each other. I did a story on it. Elijah, did you know? I did a story on this. I said it was like 1910. Negroes shooting dice, shooting and killing each other. They ain't no movies to talk about that.
Yeah. I mean,
no movies influenced that. They were gangsters back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, come on, man.
Man, Frank Zandu says that was the culture of Africa. Like, you know, tribes killing one another, talking bad about one another.
I hear people tell me every day on CT's show that Africa is the most peaceful continent in the history of known civilization. I'm sorry, again, you're just the bigots, sir.
And it was I was watching something by Frank Zandu today, and he was talking about, you know, the concept of maintenance. I'm pretty sure you know that one's been floating around in your YouTube universe, but there is no African word or there's no word that translates to many of the languages in Africa to maintenance. And he was saying there was no need to maintain much of the structures that were built is because they were so I'm gonna call it nomadic. Is because, you know, you build something that's temporary, and you have to move because there's another gang or not a gang, but another tribe that might come attack you. So the structures that were built were very temporary, so they didn't need to be maintained, right? And you know, it's just kind of this, you know, just something to think about, especially when you think about the context of violent culture and things like that. It's like, you know, maybe that's how the culture is wired. I don't know.
Humans were wired, dude. That's not unique to Africa. The only reason why Europe had to build permanent structure is because of the weather. They had to withstand winters, so they had to figure out how to. And so they stood still and killed each other. Again, that's what I'm saying. Is like people try and assign the human condition to one group of humans, but the humans are all the same across the board, man. I'm just pointing out like that. This is the biggest fallacy of the modern day: is that these in-groups are uniquely different from each other at a base level. We're not. We're all people, and we all want the same thing: to screw, drink, you know, to fill our bellies, to have sex, and to feel powerful. That's all that people want, man. That's the general baseline for all humans.
But so even at a basic level, right? Doesn't what you consume contribute to what you output, though, right? So I mean, but if we are looking at power, you know, you have to be very cognizant of what we're consuming. No, do you guys subscribe to that idea as well? Like,
yeah, it's just bad entertainment food. And if you're if you are a person that's easily susceptible and low vibrational, you are going to be influenced by that. But when you have depth in a movie, I think even somebody even low vibrational can appreciate it. You know, it's almost like, you know, going to a steakhouse versus McDonald's.
Kung Fu, do you watch Power?
No, I seen a couple of shows, but I couldn't get into it like my wife was into it. You know, but I just couldn't get into it. I stopped watching regular TV shows when when the Cosby Show went off. I mean, I watched Law and Order. If Law and Order was on the television set, I'll sit down and watch it. But now I just go to people's podcasts and I try to create my own stuff for my podcast, and I stay in my word. That's it. And then I do a lot of community work. So we gave gifts to an orphanage yesterday.
Right on, man. Shout out, man.
So even though I had an event, but we still every orphan got a Christmas gift, basically. Every orphan at the home, and so that's what I do. Like I said, if I'm getting ready to go to bed, I'll put on Clint Eastwood or I'll put on Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. So again, I do think like I don't know, like power. I don't think power helps. Again, I don't like me and my wife watch it on date night. I do like I think Power Book Force does have a bit more of a story arc than maybe some of the other. To be fair, I don't watch any other Power series other than Power Book 4 Force. I don't even know the name. I just call it Tommy. So that's the show that I watched. I didn't watch the Tariq one. I didn't watch the Raising the Canaan one. I didn't watch any of the other series. I did watch the Power series, but I didn't watch the spinoffs other than Tommy. But I just don't think. I don't know. It's just
Power. I was going to ask you, Logic. Does Power infuse religion into it?
Yo, Logic, you were like book 2, bro. I know you like book 2. You should try it.
So religion, not as much. I mean, they do have a couple of church scenes, and I'm
how are the church scenes used in the show?
It's almost like a justification for the criminal element.
Okay.
Yeah. It actually did. It actually did.
So blasphemy.
Yeah, it's like you pay off the pastor. The pastor prays for you and prays for your safety. It's not necessarily the element of pastoral correction, right? Or providing guidance that a pastor should. It's more or less, well, God loves you anyway, despite what you're doing, and just send me an offering. It's more of that than and what
I like the corruption of the church, man.
Yeah, but so that's the problem. I think that I have that's the biggest problem I have. I think with it is that a lot of black people will look at it and identify with it, but not then say, is that how we really are? Is that how we really come across? But instead, it's like, yeah, that's us. I see us in that. Like the whole like they literally use the Democrat Party for the corruption, right? There's no Republicans in the show, and granted, black people, I guess 95%. Yeah, you're Democrat. I guess that's what you're going to do. It's just, and even on this series on Power Book 4 Forest, there's a black woman that's trying to be mayor, and she I don't know if people haven't seen it, she's taking money from a drug dealer, and it's like.
But okay, so I'm not comparing it, but The Godfather 3 sucked, right? But there were some redeeming qualities about The Godfather 3 that, for example, right? Michael Corleone is an older man in the movie. He's the Godfather. He's older now, and he's pretty much trying to legitimize the family. And he's at an age now where he's looking back, and he really wants redemption for all the murders and this, that, and the other, right? So he goes to, in a long story short, he goes to Italy, to Rome, and there's a scene where he does what do they call it? Confession, right? In a Catholic church. So he confesses his sins to a bishop, right? But in the meantime, there's a bad business deal that goes awry, land deal that goes awry. The money is mismanaged by another bishop within the church. and that bishop is killed. So it's like to me it went full circle. Now had the bishop not been killed, I would have felt like, God damn, man, he got away like the priests that have done things in real life gotten away.
Mm-hmm.
But see, killing that priest, in my opinion, it's like closure. That's the way I looked at it, right? But you said
because it's good storytelling.
It's good storytelling, right? But you said in Power, the pastor is allowed to be corrupt and nothing ever happens to the pastor.
Yeah.
Well, because
and I'm not comparing. I'm just go ahead.
I just want to say to that end, it's because why should the church be free of what the show is doing? Like a baseline thematic thing of the show is to show the gritty underbelly of these different institutions, whether drug dealing, the church. No, they're not sparing anyone. Part of their theme to present their product is that we're gonna show the darkness of right. Like there is no light in this show, basically. But that's by design. It's like if you're not trying to judge it as if it's good or bad, and you're just trying to look at it artistically, it's right. Like it's trying to, from my perspective, I only seen a handful of episodes of the original series, but from my perspective, it's that we're going to tell it like it is. It's the thematic of when we write scenes, and when the writers are sitting around is and they're snowballing ideas. It's always in that dark corner. Anybody get nothing? The whole thing is that they like the family values, that stuff that they put in there is to be the backbone to how you keep the chaos in check. Yeah, right. It's never about stopping the chaos.
What's her name again? Logic Notori.
Who?
In Power.
The
main, the female one, the woman, Notori.
And which series?
The first. I only seen.
You talking about Tasha? Tasha.
She's super hot, man. She's super hot.
I don't know.
That's one of the only reasons why I kind of watched it. I'm like, God damn, she's a smoking hot ass chick, dude. Yeah. Other than that, I didn't really. Nah.
Still, she started talking, and then I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, she's super hot. Yeah.
But some of the pastors, man, I question sometimes. Especially when you're presenting your culture to the world. And maybe this is me. I admit, man, I'm probably naive. I admit it. I'm idealist or whatever you call me. Oftentimes, Gippy, purist, whatever. But I do question why, particularly, real pastors would open up their real churches, cameo on these type of shows, knowing what they represent. And knowing like content like these shows go out to the masses, they're a global audience.
Do you not know the word cognitive dissonance, sir?
I mean,
dude, these guys don't think that at all. They do not align. The person you're describing, this pastor who opens their church, that's not what they see. They see they're being a committed member of their community. They're partaking in Black-run businesses by Black actors. They're supporting Black industry. They're showing that there's a home for all Black culture within the church. From their mind, they're creating a welcoming environment that allows them to balance their very tedious task of being pastors. Even the good, I'm talking for a guy who has good intention. I'm not even talking about a guy who's a scumbag. They're going to do this because it's an opportunity for outreach and to be impactful at a massive national scale, let alone international scale. You're asking these guys who spend all time looking for airtime to turn this away. That's insane.
So I don't know what pastors have been on the show, but you saying real pastors have been on the show, Logic?
Yeah, there have been.
So in my opinion, right, I'm not a pastor, but if I were a pastor, I would have said only if you write my character and kill my character off. That's the only way I can do it. Like, because here goes the and I get what Gippy's saying, right? Why would a pastor do this? But only if you kill my pastor, only if you kill this character off. That's the only way I'll do it. Or he goes to jail.
Be the pastor feeding the homeless who got gunned down in the drive-by.
But that wouldn't make. I'm talking about if I'm a corrupt guy.
Right, but don't you understand? They would take whatever your intent was and twist it to the plot of whatever you told them your guidelines were. The writers would be smarter than you. You're playing like, I'm not trying to dissuade you. I'm telling you it's a good call. But this is what they do. They sit in a room. They're given what they can and can't say. They write stuff. They get
So the
edits.
writers are
They'll twist whatever your restrictions are into creating whatever they want, regardless.
So the writers are the problem then, because they're creating these narratives that make the show seem as though it's an attack on black people. Then
that's who does it.
Because have you killed a black pastor who's doing something corrupt? Hey man, I think the black community say, yeah, I'm gonna applaud that one. Yeah, but yeah,
man, it's wild, man. But guys, yeah, let's get out of here, man. I appreciate you everybody jumping on the show, man. Again, I say everything's rooted in communism. Again, one of the communist goals is to destroy culture, create this negative image of all cultures. To me, I think black people are being used to kind of push a negative view of promiscuity. They're being used to push promiscuity, violence, this gang culture, right? I mean, I understand these things exist in society, but what are we promoting as normal? And I think the entertainment industry is being using black people constantly to promote this. And to me, it's been working on black people. It's working on culture in America. And I think we really need to be cognizant of the content that we're consuming. Because I mean, like CT said, there can be an artistic element. I think there are a lot of artistic elements. There are a lot of lessons to learn from the content. However, when it's just candy, when it's just there's no resolution, when there's no the bad guys there should be some consequence instead of promoting the bad behavior, which I think we constantly see in shows like Power. The reason why Power has continued is because the bad guys constantly win and you're on their side. And it's just this element of cheering on the degeneracy. So I think all that is destructive to culture. So final thought, guys. Thank you for joining us, Rush. Final thoughts, man. What are your thoughts, man? We're going to get out of here. Rush.
I think it's computer's mouth. Go ahead.
My bad. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, raise your kids right. Even though there's films and TV shows that influence your kids to move in a negative light, like moving weight or becoming a corrupt mayor, that's on you. Yo,
Logic, real quick.
I mean, stay sucker free out there. You're. Thanks for
Thank
having
you so
me,
much.
y'all. I'm out.
Thank you so much, Rush. Kung Fu CJ, you say that Christ was born on the 25th.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna do this and be gone. David created the courses, which is for the 24 family of priests who worked in the temple. And so Zechariah was of the family of Abijah, who worked on the 8th week in the temple. When he went to the temple in the month of, help me with it, it's Tushrei.
Tishrei.
Right. According to the Hebrew calendar and the Gregorian calendar, that is late September. And so when the angel tells him he will have a son, he was shocked, but he did have a son. John the Baptist, according to the outside sources like the church fathers, he was conceived September the 23rd. 6 months later, a young girl by the name of Mary also gets a visit by an angel and says she will have a baby. When she goes to visit her cousin Elizabeth, who's pregnant with John the Baptist, the moment she comes in and asks and speaks Elizabeth's name, the baby in Elizabeth's womb jumps in the womb. and she says, "You are blessed." That's late March. Okay. That means Jesus was conceived in Mary late March. What's 9 months later?
December.
There you have it.
But was December a thing back then? Like, when
No.
did these calendars, like, because that's my question. Like, when
Fourth century.
Well after the Gregorian calendars, but he's trying to say that you match it, you can mirror it against the established Jewish calendar of the
There
time.
you go.
I don't know. I don't know enough about.
And guess what? They were celebrating his birthday before the Catholic Church was even established.
Dude, this is an easy one. What does Marxism have to do? One of the key things they do is promote sexual promiscuity. The abortion rate was massive. The intermingling of couples in the USSR was massive.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest things they push is sexual degeneracy on the public, so that you're going around screwing all the time and not thinking about oppression.
That's it.
Dude, please, man. They tell my wife has horror stories of what it was like. What they talk about over there, man.
So I'll show you guys this. So one of the 45 communist goals that was also written into the congressional record, communist goal number 25, which I alluded to earlier, says break down cultural standards of morality by promoting pornography and obscenity in books, magazines, motion picture, radio, and TV. And if you go on to number 26, present homosexuality, degeneracy, and promiscuity as normal, natural, and healthy. Now, these were, again, written into the congressional record back in 1963 and part of the 45 communist goals written to destroy America. And, we'll explore this more, but I am a big fan of Mr. Manning Johnson, who is a communist defector, and he wrote the book Color, Communism, and Common Sense. And he talks about these things, and particularly how the Negro was used, or black man was used, and the black church was infiltrated to then create a safe haven for the Communist Party to then disseminate, the belief system, the process amongst blacks in America. So this is one of those things that I'm really just keen on. What's that, CT?
Isn't North Korea communist?
Northern Korea.
North Korea.
North Korea, yeah.
That's communist state, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't Cuba communist?
Yes.
Or at least it was.
It still is.
Well, porn is illegal in those countries. Like I've never jerked to North Korea. I mean, I thought about it, but I've never jerked to North Korean porn before.
Yeah, they didn't govern with porn, sir.
Okay, I'm just being honest. I've always jerked to porn made in Christian nation.
It's how they destroy this. It's how they infiltrate the societies
Right.
they're trying to disassemble.
Right.
Oh,
You're taking two different things. It's not how they govern. It's how they lead you.
But they don't. Did the Soviet Union have porn?
No, but they had massive amounts of sexual degeneracy that they allowed for. And porn was illegal, 100%. But there were abortions.
They just implement these things, or
no, they do it to infiltrate society. It's to
trick
trick
other society. Okay,
it's a subversion tactic to then
two blueprints with communism. There's the blueprint that gets it spun up, and then the minute it gets spun up, they kill all the white hats, right? All the Bolsheviks got offed, all the Pol Pot's people get offed, all Mao Zedong. They kill all the inner circle, and they replace it with autocracy.
Wow.
That's two playbooks for communism. One, how to get there, and then once you have it, how to keep it.
So when I used to jerk it to Pinky and Cherokee Diaz,
yeah,
I was infiltrated by the commies.
I mean, that's what they say.
No.
Promotion
That's
of
American porn. That's a $1 billion business.
All right.
Did you know Pinky, by the way? Do you know Pinky?
No.
That's
wow. You're a good dude. You're a good. God damn, he's a good guy. Jesus Christ. Wow.
You're talking to a legitimate altar who survived.
I don't know
you don't know
Altar
Cherokee
Boy.
Diaz.
Wow.
There's two Cherokees.
You're a hell of a guy, man. You're a hell of a guy.
Man, I mean,
Put
I
one in the
don't,
chat if you know Cherokee Diaz. Put
CT,
one in
there's
the chat.
2 Cherokees.
I'm only talking about the Cherokee Diaz. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
All right, let's get guys get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, let's get out of here. CT, man, closing thoughts, man.
Closing thoughts. I am heavily anticipating Dune 3.
Is that next year?
I think 27.
Ah.
Yeah. I'm heavily anticipating, since we were talking about theater. It's Logic, man. It's setting the stage for a different type of filmmaking, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. And
Anyway.
Gippy.
Only monkeys litter, buddy. Only monkeys
That's
litter.
right. Only monkeys
All
litter.
right, that's it. All right, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Only monkeys litter, and we out of here.
Thank you so
Peace.
much, man.